Picture this. You're talking to somebody, you're mid-conversation, mid-sentence, and then poof. You can't remember the word for that thing. What was that thing again? The thingamabob? The thingamajig, the thingy. Thingamabob, a word that means nothing, but also anything and everything, actually. Luckily, Spanish has several words for this too, essentially just replacements for the word cosa, thing, and that's what we're going to learn today here at Jiveworld. Hey guys, it's Elise from Jiveworld, and today we're going to talk about different ways to say thingamajig, thingamabob, or thingy in Spanish. Basically just those words that you reach for when you're talking about a thing and it's a general thing, or maybe you just can't remember the word for it. There's a good number of them, especially depending on the country or the region, so strap yourselves in, let's get started. Now our first word is vaina, la vaina. It's feminine, and this word you'll mostly hear in Central and South America, so countries like, Colombia, Peru, Venezuela. And we're going to kick this one off with our soundbite, una palabra multiuso. This is from the Radio Ambulante story Contra la Gastronomía Peruana, which you can listen to and study on the app. Our soundbites are unique mini lessons in Spanish that we release every single day. You can do them in just a couple of minutes, and best of all, it's free to do every single day. So I'll leave the link down in the description to do today's daily soundbite. So this is kind of a spoiler to the soundbite, obviously, since from the title of this video, you already know that vaina means thingamabob or thingamajig. But I just wanted to use this soundbite to kind of show you guys the cool words that you can learn through soundbites and show you guys an example of vaina in real spoken Spanish. So here it is, una palabra multiuso. Let's look at the challenge. So after Peruvian Iván Tais writes a scathing review of his country's cuisine, he's pitted against Gustavo Rodriguez, whose book is lauded as the first novel dedicated to Peruvian gastronomy. As Daniel Alarcón discusses their story, he says, se vio involucrado en esta vaina. The word vaina literally means pod or sheath, but it's commonly used in a different way across Central and South America, and here too by Alarcón. So your challenge is to figure out this very useful word. So basically, what does vaina mean? So let's play the snippet.
El Comercio es el periódico más importante del Perú, el más leído, y con ese blog, Iván y sus comentarios sobre la comida peruana se volvieron noticia. Muchos lo interpretaron como una crítica al libro de Gustavo también, y por lo tanto el autor se vio involucrado en esta vaina.
Se vio involucrado en esta vaina. So as Daniel Alarcón used the word in this excerpt, he's using vaina to describe, a thing in like a general sense. In this case, the thingamabob being, the drama that was beginning to develop around the book. And if we look at the insights, there's some other examples of vaina. So, olvidé mi vaina en el carro, I left my thingy in the car. Esta vaina se volvió muy seria, ya no quiero seguir con ella. This thing is getting too serious, I don't want to be with her anymore. Apparently, you can even say que vaina contigo, like what's wrong with you, what's the matter with you. That's interesting. So this is the type of cool stuff that you can learn through soundbites. So the next time you're in a conversation and you just can't remember what that thing is called, try using vaina instead. Another way to say thingamabob in Spanish is coso, el coso, the thing. Coso. Now this one is used in a variety of different countries. I've heard it from Costa Ricans, I've heard it from Venezuelans, I've heard it from Argentinians, so I feel like this is one of the more general ways to say thingamabob. You can also say el cosito, just to make it sound cute or play it down or make it sound kind of unimportant, I guess. Oye, pásame el cosito ese. And speaking of Venezuela and Colombia for that matter, you can also count on the word coroto to get the job done. Tráeme el coroto que te pedí hace rato. ¿Qué coroto? ¿Sabes el coroto ese de cuero con el cierre y mis cosas adentro? ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Tu bolsa? Sí, eso. Estás perdiendo la memoria. Next up, if you want to say thingamabob in Central America countries like Honduras, Guatemala, Costa Rica, you're going to use chunche. I love that word. Doesn't it just sound like it packs a punch? Chunche. It almost sounds like the sound effect intro from Law and Order. That's what it sounds like. ¿Qué es ese chunche en la mesa? ¿Dónde está el chunche para abrir cajas? Chunche. Now, if you ever find yourself in Mexico, you have two options. That's four. You have two options that'll serve you best. Madre and chingadera. Let's break both of these down. Mexicans use the word madre for so many different expressions, so many different things. It's honestly, it's kind of Freudian when you think about it, but I digress. Madre can be anything. No, lo estás haciendo mal, pásame esa madre. ¿Cómo se llama esa madre? And with chingadera, this word is very vulgar, very informal because it does derive from the word chingar, so do not use this word when you're, doing your speech at the UN. I don't know what you do, okay? Just don't keep this one for the homies, okay? Me lastimé la mano con la chingadera esa. Ah, la chingadera para abrir cajas. Now, this next one I've heard specifically from Salvadorians, but it might also be true for other Central American countries. The word volado. Oye, me compré este volado en el tianguis. ¿Pero qué es? Es un perrito que brinca, mira. Peru. Let's talk about Peru's take on all of this. Their word that they love to use is huevada, and this is a very, very vulgar word, I might add. I have to give you the little disclaimer again. This word is not for dinner with the in-laws, and it can definitely be used to talk about something negatively. So essentially, if you want to say something is like, you know, a piece of crap. ¿Por qué compraste esa huevada? Ni siquiera sirve. And last but not least, wea. This is probably one of the most Chilean words a person can say. ¿Pero qué es esa wea? This word likely stems from huevada, the word that I just mentioned, but it's kind of like a shortening or a condensing of huevada, but it has developed over time to become a very, very Chilean thing. So my friends, the next time you can't remember the word for something, you are now spoiled for choice. 8 different ways, 8 different alternatives for the word cosa. You have vaina, coso, coroto, chunche, volado, madre, chingadera, wea, huevada. Just keep in mind that most, if not all of these, are informal, sometimes vulgar, and only to be used in those situations. You know, use them amongst friends, but they're good words to build a rapport and be the funny one in the group if that's what you want to do. So yes, use them well and use them appropriately. And once again, if you want to do today's daily soundbite, I will leave the link for you down in the description. It's free every single day, like I said. You have no reason not to. Come on. Happy Spanish studies and stay Jiveworld fluent. See you next time. Bye.